Today we're diving deep into a stack of sources about a specific kind of online retail operation. This one's called Fauna Sports, and you may have seen them advertising customized Premier League kits for roughly 25 quid.
Right, and our mission here is to analyze the significant gap between those tempting marketing claims and what the consumer experience reports actually show.
Exactly, it's a pretty wide gap.
We're going to move beyond just the sensational stuff and try to understand the operational mechanism described here. We'll break down a few key areas, the technical indicators of transparency, the reported customer service patterns, and some of the digital security signals.
And you have to admit, the front end is pretty convincing. The website looks totally legitimate. The prices are, very reasonable. And they say they accept PayPal, which for most people suggests buyer protection.
It does. On the surface, it seems like a perfect impulse buy. But let's unpack what's going on behind that professional veneer.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, the picture shifts pretty dramatically when you do. They claim to be a UK-based business with these great official-looking product photos, but the technical details tell a very different story. The domain itself was only registered 8 months ago.
Which is a huge red flag for a supposedly established retailer.
A massive one. And critically, it's reportedly hosted by Alibaba servers located in China.
And that kind of thing immediately triggers algorithmic red flags in the security world, doesn't it?
It does. The automated systems are very good at spotting these patterns.
We looked at what the detection systems found, and the scores are, well, they're low. One system scored the site 23 out of 100.
And another advisor system gave it a 1% trustworthiness rating.
1%. What does that actually mean?
It means the system believes it's a statistical near certainty that you won't get what you paid for. It's a calculation based on risk factors.
And those scores come from a whole list of non-transparent practices.
Right. Exactly. It's like a digital disguise. The legal pages were reportedly plagiarized from legitimate sites. And if you actually read the terms, they were designed not to legally bind the company to do anything.
So they only obligate you, the buyer.
Right. You have to pay, but there's no language that really obligates them to ship or fulfill the order correctly. Plus, the owner's identity was hidden, and there's no physical address or phone number.
Now, this is where the customer experience really seems to confirm all those technical signals.
Yeah.
Trustpilot had, over 440 reviews?
And about 80% of them reported the exact same sequence of events.
A clear pattern. First, your payment is processed instantly, then weeks of complete silence.
And after that, either nothing arrives at all or people receive incomplete or incorrect items.
Yeah, we're talking about kits showing up 2 months late with missing logos, things like that.
And what's quite cynical is the alleged strategy for managing disputes, especially through PayPal.
Okay, let's get into that.
The source describes a calculated tactic. As soon as you file a dispute, the company emails you immediately demanding you close the case.
And they provide a tracking number to seem legitimate.
Exactly. But that tracking number might only show that a label was printed. There's no actual shipment.
So it's a stalling tactic.
It's designed to delay the review process, often until your buyer protection window expires. They're trying to run out the clock.
And it's not just one site. The source has exposed a whole network of them.
Sister sites is what they were called. Things like kayam.co.uk.
All using identical layouts and reportedly stolen photos.
So when one site, like Fauna Sports, gets too many negative reviews,
They just switch over to a fresh domain and restart the whole operation.
Precisely. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the goal appears to be extraction on two fronts: money and data.
What do you mean by data?
Some customers who use their cards directly on the site reported suspicious charges later on, so it raises an important question. Is collecting your name, address, and payment details a primary objective here, even beyond the failed delivery of a shirt?
So for you listening, what does this all mean? The guidance seems pretty clear. For verified, authentic purchases, stick to official club stores or verified retailers. The higher price usually guarantees you're getting authentic, low-risk merchandise.
And this deep dive reveals that consistent pattern, doesn't it? The low transparency indicators, hidden ownership, new domain, high complaint volume, they all align with the consumer reports.
Non-delivery and potential data risk.
Exactly.
That leaves us with a final thought. Considering the claims that these operations might be collecting payment data even when goods aren't shipped, how do you factor digital security risks into your shopping decisions when a price seems too good to be true? Is that discount worth the potential headache? Something to mull over until our next deep dive.